Hey everybody, what is up? It is Blynn. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, hope you've all had a great Thursday. So this video is a bit later than I intended it to be, but I'm here to make this video with you guys. I've been away doing a little bit of research, as I put up on my community tab, because I wanted to bring you this video about the whole J.K. Rowling Colourpop Harry Potter collection debacle. There's quite a bit to get into in this video, so I've actually got notes in front of me, so if I look down at any point, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But there's a lot of controversy surrounding this collection. Colourpop, the makeup brand, have faced a lot of backlash, so let's get into it. And yeah, as you can probably tell behind me here, we have a little sleeping baby. This is Ronnie up here. Hey baby, what are you doing? He's quite old now. This is my little son, my little cat son. There we are. You never see my cats in videos normally because they're always usually out or asleep somewhere else in the house, but this one always sleeps in my room at night. So I'm normally in bed with this one laying on me by now, but he's come to keep me company to do this video. So let's get into it, shall we? Colourpop. So if you're not aware, the makeup brand Colourpop have released a collection which is licensed with Harry Potter. So the Harry Potter franchise that J.K. Rowling will earn royalties from. There's been so much controversy about this collection online. You know, if you go and look underneath Trend Mood's post about it, there are a lot of negative comments. If you go and look under, you know, Colourpop themselves brand posts about this collection, there's a lot of comments underneath there. There is a ton of negative comments underneath the posts. So I want to first get into a little bit about J.K. Rowling, because J.K. Rowling is known for being transphobic, ableist, also anti-Semitic. This is something that I've brought up in a previous video about this topic, but this video is going to be a little bit different because I've got a lot more research in front of me now, and there's some stuff to get into. The first thing that I'm going to be getting into is an excerpt from an article that talks about when it first kind of appeared, first kind of surfaced, that JK was actually very transphobic. So to go back to when it first kind of surfaced that J.K. Rowling was very transphobic, we've got to go back to 2020. In the year of 2020, J.K. Rowling sided with somebody called Maya Forstarter, who was very transphobic about trans women in particular. She took the stance that trans women shouldn't legally be recognised as women. J.K. Rowling then on Twitter decided to side with Maya. So Maya Forstarter had been fired from her job for saying those comments about trans women, that they shouldn't legally be recognised as women, and J.K. Rowling decided to side with her on Twitter. So of course that garnered a lot of backlash from the trans community, but it wasn't only that, because the weekend prior to that, J.K. Rowling herself had actually tweeted out an article that was saying we should be more inclusive with our language and use the term menstruating person when we talk about, you know, periods and people who have periods. And J.K. Rowling was mad at that. She was pissed. She was mad at that. She was mocking the article, saying, oh, there used to be a term for that, you know, meaning, oh, well, we used to just be able to say women, you know. So then she started mocking the term menstruating person, saying things like, oh, well, what are we supposed to call it then, you know, womb, or, you know, and making fun of the term, basically disregarding non-binary people and trans men, anyone who doesn't identify as a woman but still has a period. Reason number two why J.K. Rowling is transphobic is because of her stance on the whole bathroom debate. Now, the bathroom debate, I'm sure you guys are all aware. The bathroom debate, of course, people have been debating, you know, especially like a couple of years ago when we're talking about 2020, you know, people were debating, starting to debate a little bit before that about transgender people being able to use the bloody bathroom. You know, it's a simple thing, going to the toilet, going to the bathroom, but it's a debate because people like J.K. Rowling have this idea that if a trans woman wants to use the same bathroom as biological women, then those biological women aren't going to be safe, when statistically it's much more likely that a trans woman would be attacked in a bathroom than a biological woman would. You know, if a trans woman were to use a man's bathroom, it's quite likely that she would be attacked. So J.K. Rowling kind of tried to double down on her statements that she'd made about transgender women using the bathroom. She said something like, "Oh, I care about the safety of trans women, but the biological women's safety is, you know, also important to me." And JK doubled down on the comments that she'd made about transgender women being allowed into the female bathroom because she thought it wasn't safe for biological women. And she said, if we start letting any men walk into the women's bathroom, the women's facilities, women's changing rooms, if we start letting any transgender women do that, what we're doing is we're letting men into those spaces and women won't be safe. That was J.K. Rowling's stance on that whole thing. And of course, that is extremely transphobic because, you know, to say that trans women are not women in the beginning, you're already being transphobic. And think of it like this as well. It would be so much more dangerous for a trans man to have to use the women's bathroom. They would get the shit kicked out of them. They would get beaten up. You know, can you imagine it? They would get destroyed. Trans men who pass and look like men having to use a female bathroom. You can imagine, like, people would be screaming. Women in bathrooms, "Oh no, what? There's a man in here," you know? But if you've got a trans woman using the female bathroom, what's the problem? You know, you see what I'm saying? But it's a whole big, huge debate still. People still, you know, want to argue about it online and all of that stuff. After JK had made the comments about the bathroom situation, Daniel Radcliffe, who plays Harry Potter, came out, made a statement online, and he said, trans women are women. So then his co-star Emma Watson, who plays Hermione, also came out and said trans people are who they say they are. So two of the main actors from the beloved Harry Potter films came out, said their piece, and disagreed with J.K. Rowling. So that is the basic gist of why J.K. Rowling gets so much backlash from the trans community and allies and the LGBTQ plus community. That is why she gets all the backlash, because of the comments that she's made regarding trans people. That's why she gets all the backlash. But we're going to move on, because in 2016, the brand Storybook Cosmetics actually came out with a 5-piece brush collection that really looked like Harry Potter wands. Now, this was just something that I remembered, and I was like, was that actually a Harry Potter licensed collaboration or not? Just because people are talking about this Colourpop collaboration right now, I thought it was interesting to look into it. So I checked it out. I remember Jeffree Star reviewing this collection, and he actually said that it wasn't a licensed Harry Potter collection at all. When he looked up online, the collection was actually just inspired by Harry Potter. So Storybook Cosmetics, their kind of very heavily inspired Harry Potter collection, was, you know, not in any way affiliated with J.K. Rowling. So if you guys see that one and you want to cop that, but you don't want to give your money to J.K. Rowling, there you go. Of course, the difference between those two collections, the Storybook Cosmetics collection, which came out in like 2017, I want to say, and the Harry Potter collection that's now come out with Colourpop, is that the Colourpop one is of course licensed, which means that J.K. Rowling is going to profit from that. She's going to earn royalties from that. So if you don't want to support J.K. Rowling, then don't buy the Colourpop collection. But Colourpop, what they've done, they've been really kind of sneaky, because what they've done is they have now made an apology to, you know, everybody who was concerned about them partnering with J.K. Rowling, collaborating with her. They've come out on their Instagram, but what they did, they were really sneaky. They came out on their IG stories, putting kind of a basic ass apology, saying that they were going to be giving some money to LGBTQ plus charities, that September is Suicide Awareness Month, and they want to stand with everybody. They want to support everybody in the community. My thing is this, right, with Colourpop, my thing is this: how can you as a brand come out with pride themed makeup collections which, yes, I'm queer, I'm non-binary. How can you come out with pride makeup collections that you want to sell to us, yet partner up with a transphobe like J.K. Rowling just because you want to put out a Harry Potter collection and get the money from it? It makes the apology that they put out on their Instagram stories seem completely insincere, and it makes also the fact that they've come out with a Pride collection seem insincere. You know, everything that they say they stand for, they don't. They really don't. You know, if they did, if they actually had a backbone, then they wouldn't collaborate with J.K. Rowling. If they meant what they said about standing with the LGBTQ plus community, because there is a T in there, they would not be collaborating with J.K. Rowling. At the time of me recording this video as well, Colourpop still have all the pictures of the Harry Potter collection up. They did briefly delete them yesterday, but then they put them straight back up. I was on Instagram this morning and I saw they put all the pictures straight back up, and they put up that apology that I showed you, or, you know, that kind of blanket statement. They put that up on their IG stories, and we all know that IG stories disappear after 24 hours anyway. So what was the point of putting that statement up on IG stories rather than putting it in their actual feed so that it's there permanently and everyone who is their customer can see it? Oh no, but they've been sneaky and they put it in the IG stories where it will disappear. I'm like, okay, if you really, really stood with the LGBTQ plus community, you wouldn't do that. You know, you wouldn't collaborate with a transphobe and then put the, you know, apology or, you know, the kind of statement up on IG stories so that it disappears and you can just brush it under the rug. It's giving me very that right now. They just want to kind of wash their hands of it, and they're going ahead. They're putting the collection out. You know, they're not going to delay it. They're not going to pull it. They're putting it out, you know. So really all that says to Colourpop's trans customers or queer customers who don't want to support J.K. Rowling is, oh, well, we don't care. You know, really that's what it says. And to my knowledge, Colourpop have never collaborated with a trans person on a makeup palette or anything. They've collabed with, you know, plenty of straight kind of beauty gurus like Raw Beauty Christie. They've done all these different licensing things, like they've done Powerpuff Girls, they've done Barbie, they've done Star Wars. But in 2022, right now, it is really not a good look to come out with a licensed Harry Potter collection that is lining the pockets of J.K. Rowling. A transphobe, a known transphobe, anti-Semitic, ableist person. There is just so much wrong with that, in my opinion. You know, I'm not going to tell you guys how to spend your money. You know, of course, what you do is up to you. But personally, I don't feel comfortable supporting this Colourpop collection or any future collections from them until they actually match up with what they say they stand for. You know, that is just my opinion though. I'm going to leave this video right here. I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well. Let me know all of your thoughts, because I'm interested what you guys think about this as well. Do you guys think that, you know, it does matter that they've done this? Do you guys think that they should have faced the amount of backlash that they got for this? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.